Typefaces are historic, and matrices don't exist for them any longer, so they can't be created on the linotype or monotype machines.
Wow.
And so those are the historic typefaces, and we do sometimes set type and print with them.
Can you go the reverse and manage to make matrices at some time?
Matrices can be made at a place, I think, in London, but it is amazingly expensive.
Yeah.
And so it's basically that
You're not going to do all of these.
It's basically with these typefaces that this is the last remaining metal of some of these.
We run out, I know where it gets moved.
Yep. So here's all the fonts out of our catalog.
Wow.
Oh,
Who am I supposed to ask for price?
That's Pete. Pete can be down here.
yeah, this is pretty nice when you got it organized.
Yeah.
Just getting it like this with that job.
How many hours?
I mean, think how much lead weighs.
Yeah.
So moving all of these typefaces, and the fact that if you spill one of them, there's, 25 hours of work to put it back together.
Yeah, I got a long time to go to get this. All along up there, and depending on the size, here you see common metal, monotype casters, all over there are Thompson casters, and the difference primarily is that those cast one character at a time. They just keep going, and if you need 20 A's to make up a font, you cast 20 or 22 A's, and then you just have to kind of stack it on the galley, and then eventually assemble the font, so many A's, so many E's, etc., to make up the package. So this is more labor intensive and time consuming, therefore those are more expensive than the cast over here. Also, that puts a little more oomph on the pump, so the characters are actually a little more durable coming from there than from here, even though they built these funny methods. Turn this, I smoke 2 packs of cigarettes at the time that I'm learning this, and I quit. You lay down a cigarette, the only difference...
Well, you're looking for that stuff like this. You still have a job and
you don't smell. But the only difference, I mean, these are 32 holes across. There's no way you're going to remember what to do, especially if you change it. The only thing that's constant is word keyboards that look just like a typewriter, and it was a linotype keyboard.
yeah. And everything's in the same position, the lowercase A-O-I-N,
You got it. H-R-D-O-U, S-C-M-N-Y. In the old newspapers in small towns, every once in a while there'd be a little line somewhere in there that would say E-T-A-O-N.
Yeah.
Or Strobel.
Yeah.
He used to be a guy running down his fingers to clear the...
And who used to use that terminology was Herb Cain.
Yeah, I know.
You remember he used to throw that in every once in a while?
We have a poodle that there's one for every face, one for every size, and you just, well, I got over there, it goes up here and it reads. Okay, let me back up. This is air driven. There's air, water for cooling, and gas for the very hot lead pot, which is about somewhere around 800 degrees. And when this tape goes over this is called a collar. And there are holes punched all the way across. So when this paper goes, is perforated. So when this paper gets drawn across these holes, the ones that are punched let air through, which in turn tells this field, this device, this is called a matrix case. And all the mats and all the little, they're like little molds, of all the letters and characters are in there. And this one's kind of taken apart here, but it's like it fits in here, and this moves. And it moves this way, and it moves that way. So when it reads the two holes in there, this is going to position this by going this way and that way, exactly where that particular character is. And then this is the pump, and there's a nozzle that goes right there. And when the pump goes down, this squirts up one shot of lead, and this is really thin. It's under here. So like, well, he's going to start that one. You can see this thing moving now. Okay, now the pump's casting. So every time this goes down, every time this goes down, it has one character, and the characters come out right there. And like I said, you can see this moving to the various positions. And when the line is full, it's pulled out.
When it goes down underneath and it shoots up to the bottom.
Every time it depends. You either have to change the match, like I said, there's different modes, different light stations, but you also may have to change this whole device, depending on whether it's a English match or American match, because they have different setups. And it's really, I mean, I've seen this for a number of years now, and it's still amazing today. And all these hands and wheels and knuckles and work.
It's a mechanical motor.
Exactly.
On top of it are
And it's really an old machine because you really have to know what you're doing. You really have to be focused. You have to pay attention. There's no safety devices on that. I mean, if this thing gets hung up in there, if you do something wrong, it's going to shoot right at you. Oh my God. Really to burn a number of times.
Really?
I've got a few little lights. We all have.
So when it gets caught or clogged or?
Yeah, it's, or if you do something wrong in the setup, or if you forget to do something, it's not going to feedback him today on the screen. Hey, I forgot this. You know, it's just going to go and do its thing. And most of the time when the lead squirts out, it sort of comes in this direction.
Somebody who had a laser grinder and you give them a blank, should be able to make one. Because they have to be ground to 1/10,000.
Yeah. You can do that now, though. That's what I don't understand. Like, why are there people doing that?
Because it's not that much of a fault.
Yeah.
But those have to be to 1/10,000 so that if you run a line this wide with a character, no matter what size of the wedge there is, they all will come out exactly the same. So it has to be
completely
absolutely
consistent.
perfect.
Did the guy who made it, was he a machinist or was he like a sculptor?
He was a machinist, and they used dial indicator on a grinder. In the days that they made it, they didn't use lasers.
And he would just shave off a little bit at a time.
They just used a dial indicator,
That's amazing.
and they had a dial indicator that did 1/100,000.
Wow.
I saw the machine that did it. And it had this great big dial up here, and they would go across, and
You
a feeler.
said all this stuff, and
they
then
had
you
a
look at
feeler.
it, you can't even see it move.
Yeah, and they had a feeler that came right behind it.
Really?
And that feeler would tell them exactly what it was.
Wow. That's
And
amazing.
that machine is no longer even available.
Is it in some museum or somebody's
So
garage?
when they had to move, when the English Monochrome Company had to move, they dumped almost all of their equipment.
Oh, fine.
They couldn't move. In fact, they don't even have the equipment to make the display mats anymore. They've all been
It's a shame.
destroyed. They have the punches,
Yeah.
but they don't have the equipment for making it anymore. They're like, I I don't kick the bucket, I hit it. So here, I'll show you what I mean. Now, here's the English mats.
Yeah.
Now, here's the American mats.
Okay.
See the difference between them? The American were grown, they grew those, and then they implanted those right into, they had a slot that was made to it. They just punched them in,
Yeah.
and then they ground it down.
Huh.
That's the American, the English, they punched it, this is solid brass,
Yeah.
they punch it in there, and then they ground it down to the exact dimensions. They had a machine
right
that ground the whole thing at once, put the slots in it, ground it square, and ground the top off to exactly 50 thousandths drive, and then they dumped them into a bath chrome plating them. And that equipment's all been thrown away.
What a crime that is.
And they wish now that they had it because, as they said, if they had it, they could sell hundreds of thousands of dollars of these. And they can't.
Somebody wasn't thinking down the line.
No, they weren't thinking.
Yeah.
And it's a
But I bet
crime.
there's a way, though, now.
It's a crime.
It is a crime. It's a shame.
But
It's
it's
history.
like-
This is history.
It's like a lot of this stuff. A lot of this stuff in the days when hot metal was going out of business, a lot of this stuff was just taken and sold for brass scrap.
I know. I know. Don't even.
Just like, well, just like your linotype mats. How many of those were just sold for the brass?
We came away. We came away to this to the one linotype repair guy in the whole goddamn area. Lived in Petaluma.
Yeah.
And we had the linotype machine out at City College. But when we couldn't get parts for the pot where it kept the metal hot. To find it, and it's not a piece of equipment you teach.
You know, the strange part of it is that I've got two compressor set of the heaters for linotype sitting upstairs in my room up there.
Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
They're up there.
That was why we got rid of it.
But
I should have kept it.
but you know those brass magazines. Those things must have weighed 70, 80
Tell me,
pounds.
we had the brass ones,
With-
and also
with-
the aluminum ones. You know,
Yeah, well, completely filled. They weigh about 90 to 100 pounds.
that's why you didn't see many women running linotype machines.
Well, if they did,
To put the
if they did, they had an apprentice or somebody that threw the magazines. Now, see, here's all of. I was telling you about all the matrices.
Okay.
These
I
are blank.
see.
These are accents.
Just accents.
This one here is just strictly accents and fractions. That's all.
And each one is a guide, and
Yeah,
each
this
one
is
has a
Times
different.
Roman.
Oh, it's all one font.
Yeah, this is Times Roman. This is Times Roman bold. This is Centaur. This is Van Dyke. News Gothic bold.
You guys still doing casting for University of Minnesota? Or
Yeah. Yeah, we do it for both of them, and we do it University of Iowa. We do it for them all the time.
The last time I see you had a skid of metal going to University of Minnesota, it was $33,000 worth of power. So they must have a pretty good sized print shop back there.
It's they've got one instructor that is an English instructor.
Oh, thanks.
They've got an English instructor back there that is an amateur printer.
An amateur print.
Amateur printer, and what happens is in the English department, everybody has to write at least a poem or a short story, and every year they send it out to us, we set it in type, and we send it back to them. Everybody in the English class has to make up a story, or a poem.
And then they come out here.
They have us set it and cast it out here, and then we send it back to them.
And they print.
And they print it off a handmade paper. They make their own paper. They do everything themselves. Make their own ink. Make their own paper.
Oh my God.
I never heard of making
Where is
their
it?
own ink. I mean,
They make their own ink. I don't know how
How got out with lampblack and all that crap that goes
I don't know
on?
how they do it, but they make it.
So you guys got it easy. I mean, all they have to worry about is washing up a press.
There are line spaces between entries, so I have to add those. And anytime we have some capitals, I usually do some letter spacing on that, which is done with points and halves, which are all in here, separated by size. All of my spacing material is here, and the measure on the book is, well, the measure on the prospectus is 34 picas, so I cut my material. That's what they've done here. I mean, if you can see this, I wouldn't letter space that at all.
No.
But I've gone ahead and letter spaced.
That looks like-
These are about, these would have been letter spaced a point, and the TH, HE, and something that.
Okay.
But these show that they haven't been overspaced yet. So once it's finally, corrections are made, and Andy's over there, he's rereading the first 3 of the 4 galleys. If there are more corrections, then they get made. And then it goes to the next page. Andrew has already worked on the computer and figured out how this 8-pager should look. And at the present moment, when I'm done with this, I can just figure out whether this is going to actually work or whether we have to take something out, do a little bit of editing. If we have to add a few lines, that's no problem. We do that at the end of the instructions itself. From the proofreading, and once these the pages are put onto a page galley, and we go from these long galleys to page galleys like so, they're transferred over to the stone, which is behind you. And it's a steel top. The bindery has all of the marble tops that we did have on Commercial Street, which we did use. This lock up here was for a book right after the Kennedy book, and this was the Grove play for the Bohemian Club. And the play is going to be presented the end of this month. They produced this fairly elaborate book. We've been doing it for a number of years, and the play is only produced one night, and that's it.
I used to work at the Grove.
You did?
Call it cremation of care. Is where they have the.
As we speak, it's being picketed.
Is that right?
Yeah,
You didn't have
here.
to say that.
It's a good job for us. I mean,
Yeah.
it takes about a week to print, and we print all of our bookwork is done. Almost all the bookwork is done on the Miller, which is 2-color. And the illustrations, which are these here, these were the polymer plates were made here.
How do you get this to the press? Does it lift, or you put on a turtle, or what?
No, we lift it. It's one person can do it. It's not. Now the Bible pages weigh closer to 100 pounds, 2 pages locked up. This is not that heavy, but with the coins, it will pick up.
Yeah.
But it is heavy.
Yeah.
And you take it over carefully.
Yeah.
If you have anything that doesn't justify, it could fall off or it's going to appear to be loose. And once you get it in the bed of the press, and I'll show you that, it takes 2 people to feed. Andrew learned from Edwin, I guess, the sheets are always for hand feeding.
You have to float them in, huh?
Well, he would whip them in because it would we would interweave the sheets with newsprint,
Okay.
which would allow you to back up the same day. And so you're picking up 2 sheets. You're picking up the dampened handmade sheet and the news sheet, which is cut smaller.
Yeah.
So there was someone always there lifting these sheets so that Andrew would reach in and get it. And he's moving with the handmade sheet and the other sheet in combination. So you want to be sure that that handmade sheet is hitting your guide.
You can't drink on that job.
No, it was, it was a real operation, and it would take years of experience to do that kind of thing. But, this is it's a 2-color press. It'll take a 21, 28-inch sheet. And, well, it's all automatic. It's done with the air. The sheets are separated with a blast of air. So you've got sucker feet here, which are going up and down. They pick the sheet up. This will pick the sheet up once it's been lifted off the pile, brings it down, drops it here, and then the sheet is held on the board here. This sheet comes back, picks it up, the sheet here, and then delivers it again into your drop guides. Once it's in the drop guides, you can see the foot over here, which is your side guide pull. And it pulls the sheet to the side, and when it pulls the sheet, then your grippers are right in at the same time. Gripping the sheet onto the first cylinder, transfer cylinder, and then onto the, which is normally the black cylinder here because it's easier to get into the press.
So where's the type in here?
Okay, well, I'll show you. Now this swings away toward you, so you'll have to watch yourself here. This is the way we get the, when we first bought this press, we weren't sure how to get the type into it. And this is the bed here. This is the bed for the second color. But the the chase has to come in and then come over your ink plate, down in, drops in. You can jog this forward, and you can unlock it. And then you have coins that sit here and here, and that locks it to keep it from sliding back and forth. And you put a little bit of a wiglet, like so, on this side as well. And then you go ahead and squeeze the form up again, plane it another time so that all of the type is on the same at the same level, and then you lock it up. And at that point, everything is in pretty good position. Then you start pulling proofs, and the first proof just tells you, you adjust your packing so that you're not going to hit it too hard the first go round, and then you can increase your packing and at the same time you make adjustments to get the sheet centered or in position on the sheet that you want to print.
Does it take?
The Bible comes in, you can get it either in one volume or two, and these are 2-volume sets. So the one volume would be as thick as 2 of these, and the signatures have been gathered. And when each signature is gathered, when they're sewn onto the linen straps, and then they're glued to a backing and put into this press and then shaped.
Is this part done by hand or
That's done by hand. On the Voice of America, it's actually done on a sewing machine, but on the Bible, everything's done by hand.
That's.
Oh, is that beautiful?
okay, wait, let me, I'm shaking it so my hand isn't still. Yeah, we do a lot of hand washing.
It's even remarkable in my own shop. It's such a messy process when you're in. Everything's sparkling. That's what I like.
So you leave them loose initially?
I leave the first one so I can
Have
take a
play with
look
the
to
slot.
pull 'em.
Those holes are probably punched on a press thing.
No, they're punched in that trough. It's sort of a form, so we put each signature in. They're punched separately, the signatures, and punch them.
There must be some kind of a guide that.
Where you put something down with the holes. Right, there is a guide there, and then I don't know if you can see the nails.
That's it.
There's a kind of.
We got the concept.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see how she does this. This is the last stitch is called the kettle stitch.
What?
A kettle
It's
stitch.
great to have people here that really understand the process enough to really appreciate it. A lot of customers that I'll give tours to will be amazed and appreciative, but sort of befuddled by it all. Yeah.
Well, we don't do much bookbinding where we are. We're about to bind the book that we are doing, but it's not going to be stitched.
Real simple.
Yeah,
No signatures.
I think we're going to have to move on, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. Enjoyed that. Well, also learn how you do it.
So where are your ties? Square knot?
Square knot, yes.
So much better to see somebody do this than read it.
And that's it.
That's it.